In the hospital ensuring sterility, she didn't expect to be scared by the chubby guy. Skeptical, little fish bravely took off her protective suit under her mom's encouragement. After shedding the protective suit for 9 years, she finally enjoyed her first hot shower, eagerly thinking, bring on the new life. That night, on her first night away from home, little fish couldn't sleep. Hearing a noise outside, she peeked out the window and got distracted by a longhorn mosquito. Just then, she thought she saw someone on the other side of the glass huffing at her, quickly forming a cloud of white mist. Little fish was stunned. She slowly backed away, and the next day, little fish shared her encounter with Dr. Hong En. Dr. Hong En wasn't surprised at all, saying it was just a side effect of the medication. Until her condition was cured, little fish could see illusions at any time, but it was all perfectly normal. So, he took her to the operating room. They prepared to start the first phase of treatment. Mom, worried about little fish getting anxious, had her make a wish first, a tradition they've kept for years. Whenever little fish was scared, Mom would help her breathe deeply this way. Finally, little fish gathered her courage and walked into the operating room, where the nurse began to undress. After she put on the surgical gown, the nurse took a photo of her, leaving little fish puzzled, asking, "What's the point of this?" The nurse replied, "Do you know what happened to the last boy who asked that?" Little fish didn't get an answer before she was strapped to the operating table. The doctor told her her allergy stemmed from a problem with her antibodies and she needed medication directly injected into her bone marrow, then promptly jabbed her in the behind. After ensuring the anesthesia worked, the doctor made a small incision on her back and started drilling in, but suddenly little fish feared she noticed something strange. It looked like a strange figure appeared in the tube, but before she could figure it out, she drifted into unconsciousness under the anesthetic. When she woke, she noticed medical staff staring at her intently to get them to release her. She said something was burning inside, but the doctor calmly replied, "That's the medication's effect." When she woke up again, little fish found herself back in her bed, with the medicine rack dripping fluids nearby. Feeling like everything she just experienced was, she walked to the window, saw her breath on glass, ready to press her handprint, but was startled by a laugh. Upon closer look, it was the girl from the swing yesterday. She seemed eager to play with little fish, who decided to sneak downstairs while everyone else was still asleep. This girl seemed to know little fish past. She introduced herself as Lily and asked why little fish wasn't outside playing, leaving little fish squirming. Little fish replied that she was here with her parents for treatment, but Lily said that little fish shouldn't be called that. She seemed to have something to say. Little fish said she liked card tricks, and Lily scoffed, "That's nothing, check this out," and snapped the twig in her hand. Immediately, the twig ignited, leaving little fish wide-eyed and slack-jawed. Little fish thought Lily must have used a match, but Lily chuckled, "Some things you have to discover for yourself." She didn't spell out how she let it. After the girl left, little fish prepared to head back in and catch some CS, but creepier things were on the way. Little fish heard odd noises from the storage room in the hallway. Out of curiosity, she approached slowly and was startled by a girl's figure appearing out of nowhere. Terrified, she stumbled backward, but the girl seemed eager to play, dashing towards little fish, making her drop like a sack of potatoes. Suddenly, the hallway lights flickered on and Lily's ghostly shadow appeared behind her. Just as the curtain was pulled back, little fish realized it was just Dad coming to check on her. During dinner, she recounted the strange events to Mom, but Dad was having none of it. He insisted it was a side effect of the medication, leaving little fish feeling utterly defeated because she really believed in what she saw. At night, little fish boldly grabbed a book and unexpectedly uncovered the girl's magic secret. She was hiding matches in her palm. Suddenly, the closet creaked open and she peered through the mirror, noticing what looked like a figure behind the curtains. She mustered her courage and crept closer, finally yanking the curtain aside, but found nothing. But little fish believed she hadn't just imagined it. With resolve, she huffed at the glass again. She wrote her name on the glass, and eerily, it looked like someone rubbed it off. As if that wasn't enough, the letters were rearranged to mean lie, which really freaked little fish out. She stumbled backward in shock and caught a glimpse of the girl in the mirror. But when she turned to look, the girl vanished. Suddenly, a giant hand reached out from behind the cupboard and grabbed little fish. Little fish screamed in horror, only to realize it was Dad calling her when she finally calmed down. Dr. Horman told little fish parents again it was all a side effect of the medication, leading to her hallucinations, and they needed to expedite the second treatment. If they didn't, little fish's situation would worsen. While Mom wanted to argue, she figured it might be best for little fish to recover, so she ultimately consented. The next morning, little fish was wheeled into the operating room for phase 2 of treatment, which was far more painful than the first bone marrow procedure. The bone marrow injection was effective, but the medication couldn't reach the brain. So, they secured Little Fish's head and drilled into it. After injecting the medication, Little Fish finally woke up after a while. She suddenly heard odd sounds from the bathroom, carefully tiptoeing inside, only to find a strange silhouette behind the shower curtain. She pulled back the curtain, but the figure vanished. Just then, the faucet turned on by itself. Little Fish spun around to turn off the faucet, and suddenly got a nosebleed, realizing the lights flickered out oddly. She forced herself to calm down, but as soon as she turned around, another eerie figure appeared beside her. She hastily hid in the closet, wanting to scream and wake her parents, unaware of time passing. The outside fell silent. Little Fish timidly emerged, seeing Mama's lies carved all over the closet door.